So the Greek Golden Visa is currently one of the best and most affordable residency by investment programs in Europe. It allows you to get a long-term residency in Greece by making a real estate investment, which gives you the ability to be able to move and live in this beautiful Mediterranean country. The Greek Golden Visa also gives you visa-free travel to the Schengen area, great healthcare, and secretly it gives you the ability to pay very low taxes as a high net worth individual. In fact, in some cases, you will be paying much lower taxes in Greece comparing to Dubai and the UAE. So that's why in this video, I want to explain what are the benefits that you get from the Greek Golden Visa program. I'm going to explain what are the current requirements of the program. I'm going to explain how the requirements are going to change. I'm going to explain what's the process to get the Greek Golden Visa and the type of properties you can buy to qualify for this program. The good thing is that you're getting all of this information in this video for a total cost of simply liking this video and subscribing to this YouTube channel, which really helps me a lot with being able to make more of these videos for you. And not only that, but if you need any help and assistance with getting the Greek Golden Visa, with choosing the right property to invest in, with getting the residency by investment, and with decreasing your taxes, then feel free to book a call with me by clicking on the link down below, and I would love to help you out. You should know that currently we're partnering and working with dozens of real estate developers, real estate agencies, lawyers, notaries, tax professionals and accountants from Greece, which allow us to provide you with the full service from A to Z and to also consult you when it comes to getting the Greek Golden Visa, choosing the right property to invest in, finalizing the purchase, getting the residency, and decreasing your taxes. We can also help you explore other countries around the world where you can register your company and get residency to be able to further decrease your taxes. And with that being said, let's go back to the video and explain you everything you need to know about the Greek Golden Visa. Now, before we discuss exactly what are the requirements for the Greek Golden Visa and what's the process to get it, I would like to take a moment to discuss exactly what are the benefits first. So the first benefit is that the Greek Golden Visa gives you a long-term residency in Greece by making a real estate investment. The residency is valid for 5 years. However, you can renew it indefinitely as long as you maintain your investment. So this means that if you don't sell your property, you can maintain your residency visa as long as you want. The second benefit of the Greek Golden Visa is that there's no minimum required stay to maintain your residency. So if you want to get the residency in Greece but you don't want to be living there, this is some great news for you because you won't be required to spend any amount of time in Greece in order to maintain your residency. At the same time, if you get residency, you also get the ability to stay in Greece as much as you want. And you can spend a whole year in Greece if you want. So it's really up to you to decide how much time you want to spend in the country. The third benefit of the Greek Golden Visa is that it gives you visa-free travel to all countries from the Schengen area. So if you're someone who normally needs a visa to travel to Europe, by getting the Greek Golden Visa, you'll not only be able to go and live in Greece, but you'll also be able to travel to all the 29 countries from the Schengen area. It's worth mentioning that you can only stay 90 days in every 180 days in Schengen while being a resident of Greece. The fourth benefit, and this is a big one, comes down to taxes. Because getting the Greek Golden Visa and moving to Greece can help you drastically reduce your taxes if you're a high net worth individual. And the reason for this is because Greece has something called a lump sum tax, which is basically a special tax regime that allows you to pay a flat tax of 100,000 euro per year, no matter how much money you make. And the good thing is that you can take advantage of this lump sum tax for 15 years. Now, if you're someone making 2 million euros per year, this is an effective tax rate of 5%. If you're making 5 million euros per year, this is an effective tax rate of 2%. And if you're making 10 million euros per year, This is an effective tax rate of just 1%. So if you're someone making 7-8 figures per year and you had your business in Dubai just because of the taxes or in any other offshore jurisdiction, then you might actually consider moving to Greece because you can pay much lower taxes there. And my team and I can assist you with setting up a company abroad where you can actually pay 0% corporate tax, and we can set up a structure that actually works with your residency in Greece. And when you pay yourself, you only have to pay the 100,000 euro per year lump sum tax. The fifth benefit of the Greek Golden Visa program is that you can actually rent out the property that you purchase and you can generate some passive income. So the first time I heard about this, I was a bit surprised because in most countries with most Golden Visa programs, you're actually not allowed to rent out the property that you purchase. But it looks like that's not the case with Greece. And after talking with so many real estate brokers and developers, I realized why. It turns out that Greece has a huge issue when it comes to not having enough rentals, while at the same time there's a big demand of people looking to rent. So that's why, in order to solve this issue, the Greek government decided to allow Golden Visa holders to rent out their properties. Keep in mind that here you're not allowed to do short-term rentals like Airbnb, and you can only do long-term rentals. The sixth benefit of the Greek Golden Visa program is that by becoming a resident, you potentially have the chance to get Greek citizenship after living 7 years in Greece. Here, I want to stress out on the word potentially, because in order to get the Greek citizenship, first you actually need to live in Greece and spend at least 6 months per year in the country. And that's the easiest part. The hardest is actually passing the citizenship test, which also requires you to know Greek. So you should know that getting the Greek citizenship is actually not easy, but you should know that if you're actually willing to put in the work, the Greek passport is actually the 4th best in the world, and it also gives you the right to live in any country from the European Union, European Economic Area, and even Switzerland. So the seventh benefit of the Greek Golden Visa is that it gives you access to EU banks. So this means that you'll be able to open bank accounts in Greece and also other EU countries. So you can open a Revolut account, for example, set up multi-currency accounts, easily trade crypto, and so on. The eighth benefit of the Greek Golden Visa is that it gives you access to high-quality healthcare. So by getting the Greek Golden Visa, you actually enjoy the same healthcare rights as a Greek citizen. That way, you get access to both public and private healthcare services. At any point, you won't feel a disadvantage as a foreigner. And last but not least, Greek Golden Visa holders can also bring their family with them. So this includes their spouse, their unmarried children below 21 years old, their parents, and even the parents of their spouse. And the best part is that you're not required to include them in your initial visa application, and you can always bring them at a later stage. So now, let's talk about the requirements for the Greek Golden Visa. So obviously, the main requirement for you is to make a real estate investment. A very important thing to know is that since September 1st, 2024, the Greek government has raised the investment requirement for the Greek Golden Visa. So since September 1st, 2024, the investment requirement is now 800,000 euro. And the minimum investment requirement is now 400,000 euro, and this only applies for cities and islands with less than 3,000 people. Recently, the Greek Prime Minister has made a proposal to introduce a new investment option for the Greek Golden Visa starting from 2025. So his proposal is to also allow foreign investors to get the Greek Golden Visa by investing in Greek startups. So a startup investment option will require an investment of at least 250,000 euro. On top of that, the company that you invest in has to create at least 2 new jobs in the first 1 year of you making the investment. You also have to maintain these new jobs for at least 5 years, and you likely have to limit your company ownership of the Greek startup for up to 33% of the company's shares or voting rights. So keep in mind that the startup investment option for the Greek Golden Visa is still not available, as the bill just got introduced and it's about to be discussed by the Greek Parliament. However, the Greek Golden Visa visa is likely to be updated in 2025 will also include the startup investment option on top of the real estate investment option. And when this happens, I'm going to make a new video specifically about the startup investment option for the Greek golden visa. But for now, let's just focus on the real estate investment option that's currently available for getting the Greek golden visa. So now let's look at the type of properties you can buy. So in general, there are three types of properties: old, new, and off-plan. So the old properties could be a bit cheaper, but for the purpose of getting the Greek golden visa, I highly recommend you avoid them. The reason for this is because many old properties actually have issues with their paperwork and documentation. And whenever a property has issues with documentation, this actually delays the sale and increases the time required to buy the property. So instead of buying the property quickly, you're going to spend months dealing with paperwork, and this is something that you definitely don't want. So that's why, for the purpose of getting the Greek golden visa, your best options are to buy either a new property or off-plan. So the new properties have much better documentation, which allows for a much quicker sale, which saves time. The other benefit with them is that once you buy them, you can move in immediately without the need to do any renovation. Or if you want to rent them out, you can also do that immediately, and you can also get much higher rent comparing to other properties. On the other hand, off-plan properties are properties that are still in development and are not ready yet. They're very good for getting the Greek golden visa because they give you the quickest time for purchasing the property. The reason for this is because real estate developers already have all paperwork and documentation in order. Besides this, off-plan properties tend to be much cheaper than new properties. And in some cases, this could be up to 20–30%. And on top of that, because you're buying an off-plan property from the real estate developer, you're also not paying agency fee. So now let's discuss what's the process to getting the Greek golden visa. The first and the most important step is to select the property you want to buy. So here, first of all, you need to be clear on what type of property you want to purchase. Whether you want to buy an apartment or villa, whether you want to buy a new property or an off-plan property. You also need to decide in which region you want to buy the property, whether you want this to be in Athens, whether you want to be maybe on an island like Mykonos, Santorini, Crete, Zakynthos, Milos, or whether you want something in the northern part of Greece like Thessaloniki or Halkidiki and so on. You also need to decide whether this is going to be a property you're going to live in, property you're going to use as a holiday home, or property you're going to rent out. Now, the good thing is that we already partner with dozens of real estate developers and real estate agencies in Greece, so we can consult you and assist you when it comes to finding the right property for you in Greece among everything that's available in the country. Instead of just having to rely on one broker with limited inventory who wants to sell you the property he has even if it's not a good fit for you. So when it comes to selecting the right property for you, the best will be for you to come to Greece to check the properties in person, and we can organize viewings of properties for you in advance to save you time. Most of the clients, they only need to come to Greece for about 3 or 4 days to select the property, to meet with the lawyer, to meet with the notary, and then they can leave. However, if you want to avoid coming to Greece, you can also buy the property remotely. And for this, you simply need to go to a consular and get power of attorney. So after you select the property, the next step is the due diligence done by the lawyer. So here, the property needs to go to a series of legal and technical checks in order to be sure that everything is okay with it and you can actually purchase it. So the lawyer here checks all the paperwork and the documentation of the property, checks if there are any loans, debts, and so on. And once the lawyer gives the green light, then you can actually proceed with purchasing the property. So the next step is actually purchasing the property. You have to keep in mind that in Greece, in the majority of cases, the time frame for purchasing the property from the moment you have selected the property is about 2 or 3 months. And this is mostly because the due diligence process of the property takes a while to make sure everything is okay with the property. So after you purchase the property and you have the contract, then you can proceed with the next step, which is making the application for the Greek Golden Visa. Now, the application here needs to be booked with the immigration office, and because there are so many people actually right now applying for the Greek Golden Visa, the timelines are quite tense. And sometimes you even have to wait 2 or 3 months for your appointment. However, we have like a workaround and a solution for this, as we already have pre-booked appointments made by our lawyers, so that way you can skip the queue and you wouldn't need to wait. So after you buy your property, you'll be able to get your appointment right away, and that way you can save our clients a lot of time. So after the appointment with the immigration office, you have to wait for your residency permit to be issued, and then it's going to be sent by DHL. And that way you don't even have to come back to Greece to pick it up. The residency after is going to be valid for 5 years, and you can renew it for another 5 years indefinitely as long as you maintain your investment, or until you get the Greek citizenship. And with that being said, if you want my help when it comes to getting the Greek Golden Visa, with choosing the right property to invest in, with getting the residency by investment, and with decreasing your taxes, then simply feel free to book a call with me by clicking on the link down below, and I would love to help you out. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.